I'm sure you heard by now that 3D printing is a massive market opportunity. It's democratizing manufacturing, and it allows individuals like you and I to take a 2D idea and convert it to a 3D reality. And thanks to the current desktop 3D printers, we're getting better and better at making iPhone cases and bobbleheads, or this little paperclip I 3D printed earlier this week. But you have to ask yourself, where does all that plastic come from, and does everyone have access to it? And what if you could print larger, more functional objects, such as prosthetics, or this 3D printed stool I made to help reach high places in my apartment, affordable housing, human scale objects that truly address human needs. So I'm Samantha. I'm the catalyst and co-founder for Re3D. And at Re3D, we believe that we are tackling the two biggest barriers to the mass adaptation and accessibility of 3D printing, which is cost and scale. So our flagship technology, the Gigabot, was prototyped using 40K given to us equity-free from the Startup Chile program. So with that in mind, I quit my job at NASA and moved to Latin America to address the cost or the scale component with Gigabot. And while we were at Startup Chile, we put Gigabot on Kickstarter, and it was hugely successful, no pun intended, because in just 27 hours met our goal, and in 60 days we raised over $250,000 for what was the first affordable, large-scale industrial 3D printer. So Gigabot's about 8 cubic feet, and that is approximately 30 times bigger than maybe some of the desktop printers you may have come across. So it was designed around the specs of a toilet, and in our travels with Engineers Without Borders and Opportunity International and talking to end users, we felt like it was a size that it could accomplish a lot of the objects that had been suggested to us when we were working at NASA and volunteering overseas. And while we think that we validated the market for affordable large-scale 3D printing, we continue to take orders beyond Kickstarter, and last fall announced that we'd hit 1 million in follow-on sales thanks to some great advice from Pascal Finette from Mozilla, now Singularity University, and Tom Chi, formerly from Google Glass. We still don't think that our goal is done, and has been met, and neither does Tom and Pascal. So now we're working on the second half of what we originally set out to do, which was to 3D print toilet-sized objects from trash. And we're starting to think a lot about recyclables. And that's where you come in, because we see tremendous value in being able to take reclaimed plastic or maybe even food waste and incorporate it into a 3D printer locally to create an object that you want to generate. But as a lot of smart people have pointed out, it's a pretty complex problem. A lot of people are tackling it different ways. It's a huge priority for us, but what we found, being entirely bootstrapped and now having a team that needs to deliver gigabots to support our social focus, is that we can't do it alone, which is really humbling and kind of awesome, and that's why we're talking to you and why we went to Web Summit. We're hoping that with your support, we can have the resources to do the hardware adaptations that are required to 3D print from reclaimed plastic. There's a couple different theories right now on how you do it, whether it's directly from pellets or in a stick, or that gets plunged in and loaded with just a bunch of them, or if it's with the rope-like filament that people tend to share at the affordable price point right now and talk a lot about in the media. And we have some of that filament in-house from different friends around the world thinking about printing from waste, and a little bit's on the way. While we're really eager to start doing some hacks to accept it, what's really missing is a platform to share that information and to do it in a consistent way. And also there's a real need to network printers to collect data on printing with waste, because it turns out it's really hard. So we're hoping that you could provide some insight as a NASA spinoff. We really admire and have worked with some of your portfolio companies like Open Ecology, and we think that you can give the guidance to take the next industrial revolution to the next level. Thank you.